What's it like to be so gorgeous all the time? Not a story, just something Megyn Kelly asked me in the hallway. Hard to believe. Oh. Will visitors to Times Square have anything to say on presidents and beer? Of course not. It's Times Square.
Should I call you Charlie, Chuck, Chappie, or Hitler knockoff?
Just Charlie's name.
All right, Adolf it is. Adolf.
Oh, why not have a little drinky? All right, are your White House dreams a dud if you won't drink a bud? During a recent trip to the Hawkeye State, President Obama bought any supporter who'd ask a cold beer, prompting the Washington Post to dub his visit the Iowa Beer Tour. Mitt Romney, on the other hand, doesn't touch booze. Does that alienate him from voters? According to a new poll, 35% of those coveted independent voters say they've indulged in some suds over the past month, versus 30% of Democrats and 27% of Republicans. So has Barack made gains because Mitt abstains? We had Red Eye's most hops-filled correspondent hit the streets of Manhattan to answer this question, mostly because it gets him away from the rest of us for hours on end.
Consumer research reports say that beer is especially popular with independent voters. Will a love of the suds somehow decide this election? Probably not, but we talk to people in Times Square anyway. Now, a new study says independent voters are more likely to drink beer. Do you think that as a result, they're more likely to vote for Obama since he drinks beer and Mitt Romney does not?
Maybe. I feel like independents would more likely vote for Obama just because he's a little bit more liberal on social issues, and I don't know about the beer drinking. I don't see how that plays into it. All
right, I'm a little worried because you guys seem informed, and I'm not used to interviewing people like that in Times Square.
I don't speak English very well, so.
Okay, do you know what "don't put that in my drink" means?
No. What is?
We're gonna get along famously. There is a new,
That's cool.
No, this is Fox News. It's national. Pretty nice, huh? You'd think I'd be wearing makeup. Excuse me, man, if I ask you a couple quick questions? Huh? Don't need to apologize.
I'm from Sweden, so I'm not voting here in America.
Okay, are you single?
No, I'm married to him.
Okay, are you guys open-minded? Would you rather have an Ovaltine with Mitt Romney or a beer with Obama?
Beer with Obama.
Beer with Obama? What kind of beer would that be?
Oh, Corona.
Corona. Okay, I'm a white wine spritzer guy myself. Easy on the wine. Let me make this a little dumber. Would you like to, would you rather have an Ovaltine with Mitt, a beer with Obama, or a joint with Libertarian
Ron
candidate?
Paul. Joint
Oh.
with Ron Paul or Gary Johnson. Either one of them.
Not only do they know who Gary Johnson is, they are completely pro-smoking with Gary.
Smoke up that dope with Gary Johnson. He's my boy.
Now, out of all of the presidents in history, who would you like to have a beer with?
Probably Kennedy.
Probably Chester A. Arthur.
Abe Lincoln.
Abe Lincoln looks like he can put him down. He looks like he can put him down. Doesn't necessarily look like a fun drinker. Sort of morose in the corner of the bar.
Which would be fun when he finally gets a beer in him.
Maybe. Or he'll just start listening to The Cure.
Easy. Theodore Roosevelt.
Why's that?
He's a badass mother. He knows nature. He knows how to kick some ass.
All right, we're gonna have to bleep nature. What about, like, let's say Grover Cleveland? Here's why I would like to drink a Grover Cleveland. Okay. He's kind of fat. He's got a mustache. He looks like a Chicago Bears fan. I would like to party with James K. Polk, and I'll tell you why. His name's Polk. I mean, come on, you know the guy for ages. You know who I think parties? Representative Kevin Yoder. Do you know this guy?
No.
He's the guy that skinny dipped in Israel, and he claims sober. Yeah, right. But Yoder, am I right? Yoder.
I don't know.
Yoder. He seems awesome. Can I get one Yoder?
Yoder.
Out of all of history, which president would you most like to have a beer with? So will beers decide this next election? Probably not, but once again, we've learned absolutely nothing. If anything, I'm dumber now than I was before we started this thing. One thing I do know, Annie is back on Broadway. Tomorrow, I love ya. Tomorrow, you're certainly not today. That's all the lyrics I know.
Bill, you do so much for this network just by being out there.
Thank you.
You really do.
I feel like I'm the crown jewel within the Fox News empire.
Yeah, you are the crown jewel.
Yes.
You really are. Wow. Tom, do Americans really prefer a president they can have a beer with?
No, they made this. I remember when they made this up. It was back when Bush was running for president.
Yeah.
And it was a way to ask people, who would you rather have a beer with? And they would say, oh, probably Bush. And they'd say, but who knows the issues more? Oh, that was Al Gore, definitely. So it was a way for the left-wing media to slam the president, and that's
Quick,
where it
I got 40 seconds.
Well, the important thing here is that people wouldn't rather have a beer with Obama or an Ovaltine with Mitt Romney. They would rather get high with Gary Johnson.
Or Gary, they just want to get a job.
Or play flip cup with Obama. I don't know. Anything could happen.
We got to move on. Thanks, Carrie, Chris, and Tom. We're going to close these out with a very special tribute. And to see clips of recent shows, go to foxnews.com/redeye. Welcome back. If you've noticed, we're back in our regular studio, and I made a quick wardrobe change. And it's for a very special reason, a sad reason. We'd like to take a minute to remember a frequent Red Eye guest from this summer. Yes, Victor Roberts, the acclaimed British theater and film actor, passed away today of natural causes at his home in London. He was 65 years old. We pause now to honor this great man. He looked so young for 65. It's really kind of amazing. We're going to spend next few moments talking about Victor. Bill, where were you when you heard the news?
I heard about it pretty late in the game, about 3 weeks after the fact. As you know, I don't have a television.
Yes.
And not fond of the internet. But when I did, the thing I liked about Victor is that so many actors play it close to the vest.
Yeah.
I mean, don't. They throw it all on the table. It's all about me.
Yeah.
He kept things to himself. Any discernible talent.
Yeah.
You weren't aware of that.
Yes.
Any type of an accent. We don't know.
Yeah.
It changed all the time. How did he tower over Dame Judi Dench in that photo?
Yeah.
Everyone was clueless about that.
I got we have, what's your name?
Mike von Michelson.
Mike von Michelson. Weren't you hired to be his handler the night that he died? He was supposed to get knighted. There's still a lot of mystery. How did he die?
I think at the stage of the game we're at now, we should just not ask any real questions. I mean, I was hired to do a job, and I did it, and we're fine.
Okay.
But it was natural. So I assure you this.
Are we waiting for autopsy reports, or did you yourself conduct the autopsy? That's what I'm concerned about.
My time at the Hollywood Upstairs Medical College is of no concern to anyone, and yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We'll just leave it at that. I want to go to Andy. Andy, you actually hosted the shows that Victor Roberts were on when I was out of town.
Yeah.
I never had the chance to meet him. What are your thoughts?
Well, too many memories here, Greg. As you know, probably my first exposure to Victor was, of course, in the now missing 1965 Doctor Who episode, The Feast of Stephen. Victor played the feast, and what a feast it was for fans of great acting, I have to say.
Yes.
And of course, I'll never forget the many parties he used to host at his flat. The one that we were both at, I think in 1979, you and I were doing love shots with him and Charlie Watts. I remember we never did find out the secret ingredient he was putting in those, but we do know they were well named.
I have no memory of that.
That's why when you said you never met him, I started remembering how many love shots you actually did.
Yes.
But I think what I'll remember most about Victor, probably his last words to me. We were back at his place here in New York after a taping, one of the shows I hosted. He was showing me an early draft of something he was working on. It was a one-man stage version of 8 is Enough.
Wow.
And he suddenly stopped and he said, Gareth, he sometimes called me Gareth for some reason. Gareth, he said, if you don't love yourself, then yourself can't love. I still don't know what he meant, but not a day goes by that I don't try to figure it out. And I think above all, that's what Victor did, Greg. He made you think. So I just have to say, Sir Victor Roberts, wherever you are, you rest in peace so that we may live in peace.
That was very beautiful. I think we should close on that. We got no post-game wrap-up tonight. A couple of quick programming notes before you go. I'll see you back here Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time for The Five, live from the Republican National Convention in Tampa. Second, there's no red eye for the next 2 weeks. We're bumped for the Fox News Channel's excellent coverage of the Republican and Democratic conventions. So a brand new red eye returns on Monday, September 10th, in time for school. Very special thanks to our this evening's guest. That does it for me, for Bill Schultz, TV's Andy Levy, and whoever this guy is. I'll see you next time.